that. Can we talk about some NBA, man?
I
Because I
mean,
know how much you hate putting this into the show.
What do you mean hate? I'm just saying it's football season right now, but I agree with you. Like, let's talk basketball. It is exciting, man. Some of the things going on in the NBA. Meanwhile,
All right,
see, this is why you're all about clicks. You come on the show for clicks because you want to talk NBA. But guess what opened up last night? College basketball. You didn't do
I
a
know
preview show.
the
You didn't
Canes.
do a
I know
preview show.
we beat
You didn't do
the
any
Sisters of the Blind by
predictions.
40
You
points.
didn't do any predictions. You didn't do any awards. You didn't do any preview show for college hoops because you don't care. You just want to do it for clicks.
Because college basketball is different, and I'm still hurt over the Canes. Like I can't bring myself to talk about it yet.
It's a new season. Get over.
But NBA Fastbreak, it's the NBA version of the check down game. I'm gonna give you some options. You let me know what you think about them. Is that okay with you? I'll give you credit.
I guess
came up with this name, and it's not going away, just like the other things you introduced.
That's right, because I write the script.
Oh, that's why you try to always make yourself look good, but you're a horrible writer. All right, so more concerning.
You do
the Miami Heat, Miami Heat, or
the
Memphis Grizzlies. I think the Grizzlies finally got their first win, like 1 or 2 games ago, and the Heat, I think we got 1 win. So we're both teams are below expectations. So who's more concerning?
Well, the Heat are 3-4, Grizzlies are 1-6, and this is
got more wins than I thought.
Yeah, and this is why I will say the Heat, because the Grizzlies eventually will have Ja Morant come back, and it's not about. To me, it's not about winning the title this year. It's just about getting the ship right for that team for the future. If they can get Ja back after 26 games, he plays the way he was, doesn't do anything on social media to hurt him or the team, they'll be fine. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs or, win the title or anything, but I think long-term they'll be fine. I'm more concerned about the Heat because, JT, it's now or never, man. It is now or never. You've traded some guys away. You didn't get Dame. Jimmy Butler's getting old.
We didn't even get James Harden.
So I'm more concerned about your Heat because the East is still tough. And if Jimmy Butler's got to put the team on his back from right now, ain't no way he's going to survive in May come playoffs.
Agree with you 100% is the Heat. And I said this, was it 2 years ago? When we talked about is the Heat championship window closed, and I gave you all my concerns, and then Jimmy Butler's like, all right, I'll suck it up one more year, and I'll prove you wrong. But those concerns are still there, and this is the the result of that. This team will only go as far as Jimmy Butler will carry us. I'm sorry, the knees are done. Like he's not going to be able to carry us like he has in years past, and we're seeing all these guys play that were too good to trade away for guys like Dame, James Harden, a Giannis, an Embiid, any other second guy that we could pair with Jimmy Butler for this specific situation to get better. And I'm sorry, I don't like what I see. It's not a good team. Like we're still down to Butler, Bam, and Hero. And we know how that trio works in the playoffs. They don't unless Jimmy Butler plays like Superman for 7 games for 3 series. And I'm sorry, you can't rely on that every year. That's not going to happen this year. So I'm panicking on them. For everything you said about the Grizzlies, it's true. Once they get Ja back, it's going to be a different team, and they could make a run at the play-in, or they might be a better team than that. So I'm not worried about them. That's a younger team. The Heat, they need to win now, and they need to show why these guys weren't good enough to trade to go get somebody like Damian Lillard. Because right now it's looking like the wrong move. All right, more concerning. Your boy Giannis, who you love. You said he was going to be MVP. Or my guy Jimmy Butler. I feel like you already kind of gave the answer, but I'm going to see if you're going to panic on your guy or not.
No, it's Jimmy Butler. That's more concerning. Listen, Giannis, did you see what he did last night? Let me
finally.
Read this stat
if we would have did this show a day early, you would have picked Giannis because you've been texting me how bad he's been playing for 2 weeks. You're like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
You were so
Let me read this stat line. I don't know what you're talking about. Let me read this stat line. He was 15 for 27 from the field.
I get it. He helped you with your fantasy life.
12 rebounds, 3 assists. Now, his numbers are definitely down all across the board from the past few seasons.
That was right. That was a possibility.
Listen, it's still early, though. But with Butler, now he had a great night last night, 9 of 15, 28 points, 4 boards, 6 assists. But JT on the year, 19 points, 6.5 boards, 3.7 assists. That's not going to get it done. I mean, he didn't play against Minnesota, but you look at some of the games, Milwaukee and Boston, 14 points, 13 points. Brooklyn, Washington, 20 points, 20 points. Like, that's not good enough. And
Yeah.
when you're 3-4 and you're playing like that, that's where the concern is. And the biggest concern is he's played so much the past couple of years because of their deep playoff runs and how much he's put on his shoulders. How much more does he have at that elite level? I don't know. We're going to find out. But
Bingo.
I
I agree.
hope.
I agree with you. He's more concerning. If for
Yeah.
everything that you said, like all those extra games are catching up with him. Like he's too old. Our team should be good enough to where we can load manage him. Like he
Yeah.
should be like our Kawhi, and we can't afford for him to have that role.
Right.
And that's why he's more concerning. Giannis and Dame, they'll figure it out. Because I'm sorry, like LeBron and D Wade and Bosh, they weren't exactly firing on all cylinders when they teamed up together. But guess what? You believed in the talent. You believed they'd figure it out, and they got better. And we went to We went to an NBA Finals our first year. And keep in mind, like that whole team is working itself back. Chris Middleton is also working himself back into shape. So I'm not panicking on Giannis. Oh, this is good. More concerning. NBA load management or the NBA injury reporting. So I will preface this by saying that the reason we put the NBA injury reporting is I don't know why, but for some reason the NBA doesn't have to be honest about when they submit injuries for lineups. And if they submit a lineup, I think it's like 30 minutes before a game, they can change that lineup after it's been submitted. So, for instance, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was ruled out, but somehow he still played. So, which one is worse, the injury reporting or the load management?
It's injury reporting because usually with load management, one, that's a possibility, and two, they'll usually let you know well in advance, right? But if the injury reporting is inaccurate, JT, it does a couple things. One, if you're saying someone is going to play and I buy tickets and then all of a sudden they're not, that's an issue.
Oh, come on, no.
And then
Let's not be nice about it. Let's be degenerates. If someone
hold on, I'm getting to that. The
Please.
other thing with the injury reporting is this is millions, billion-dollar industry. The injury reports need to be accurate. Let's face it, for the betting. All of these things are betting. Sports betting is being legalized in almost every state. It seems like every day. I think Florida, the app or something just got approved. Now you can actually go on the app and bet, I think, in Florida. So you can let us know how that works. But it needs to be accurate for those reasons. That's why I say the refs shouldn't have to talk after games because they could get in trouble with gamblers. Like the injury report needs to be accurate because of if you're going to be in bed, the NBA, the NFL with DraftKings and FanDuel, you need to have these things accurate for that specific reason. Not necessarily for the other team, but for the betting line. That's more important than the load management because load management, we usually know ahead of time, and it's been going on for years. So at this point, listen, buyer beware with the tickets, with the load management. I got stuck with that in New Orleans where I thought I was going to see Zion against the Warriors, and Zion played somehow, but Draymond didn't, Clay didn't, and Steph Curry did. But hey, I got to see an NBA game. That's buyer beware. But with the injury reports in gambling or in the betting, that doesn't jive.
Yeah, I think it's the injury reporting, and I feel like this is the difference between why it's easier for the average casual sports fan to get into the NFL for outlets outside of the game. Like this is why it's easier to get into fantasy football. This is why it's easier to get into betting, even if it's like this DFS type stuff. It's easier to get into that because you don't have to jump through all these mental hurdles. Like the NFL is what it is. The games are on these days. You're going to find out who's playing by
90 minutes before the kickoff.
And guess what? They do a good job of updating you throughout the week. Like this guy is trending toward playing. This guy is trending toward not playing. The NBA, the guy will practice all day the next day, and then boom, he is out 3 minutes before tip-off, 30 minutes after they said he would play when the injury report was submitted. Like, how can the average fan get into that? Because that is the biggest thing holding them back, I think, from average people coming over is they don't trust that it's going to be fun because there's just too much to look out for. So, yeah, it's absolutely the injury reporting. But let's go positive. I love this question. more impressive. We're going with the rookies here. Freaky Vicky, Victor Wembanyama, Chet Holmgren, or our guy, Asar Thompson, my cousin with the Detroit Pistons.
Oh, he's your cousin. You didn't want to. You didn't want to. You didn't want to
I
say
told
that
them
during
my
the
cousins
draft.
when they got drafted. They're my family.
You didn't want to say
Two
that
of them,
during the draft.
the twins, man. I used to babysit them.
I'm
So
pretty
Wemby,
sure I'd said that too, and you were like, "Nah, I don't know."
of course, man. Hey, Wemby, Chet, or Asar Thompson, which one is more impressive so
Listen,
far?
they've all done a great job. It's great to see Chet off his injury. Sir Thompson with being a rookie is great. I'm going to go Wemby. Maybe that's the easy answer, but listen, man, with that much hype and to produce the way he has, averaging 19 and a half points, 8.5 boards, 1.7 assists. I mean, listen, it's exciting if you're a Spurs fan. So I'm going to go with the hype to the production to he's only played in 7 games, that the future is bright, not only for him, but the Spurs, and maybe Greg Popovich, finds that fountain of youth with him. I think because of all that, he's been the most impressive, but that doesn't diminish what Chet and Asar Thompson have done at all.
Look, I love my cousin. Hey, Chet's an amazing player. But I'm sorry, man. I ain't got to look at stats. It's Wemby. Like, you keep a 19-year-old hasn't looked like he can break the league since LeBron came in. Just think about that. Like
20 years ago. 20 years.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we forget this kid is 19. He don't have an NBA body. This is his first time playing in the States. And it's not like the Spurs are surrounded with amazing talent. So when you playing against the Spurs, the game plan is we got to do everything to shut Wemby down. And he's still out there just looking like the freak of all freaks. Like, what he is doing is far more impressive. And like I said, no disrespect to Chet and Asar, but right. it's Wembanyama.
Hey, can I be there for the Thanksgiving dinner when Asar comes and
because I'm gonna just tell him that you ain't. I'm gonna tell him you disrespected our family. You didn't believe we were related.
You didn't pick him.
Johnny come later.
You didn't pick him. You didn't pick him though. I want to be there when he gets there, and you got to explain why you didn't pick him over.
I ain't got time for you to be begging my cousin for shit. More impressive. We're going old guys. Steph Curry or LeBron James.
Listen, both are impressive. The start that they've had.
Talk about load management. Hey,
it don't exist with those guys. It don't exist with those guys. Listen, both are impressive. So I hate having to pick one, but I'm going to go LeBron. I mean, listen, the guy's averaging over 25 a game, 8.5 boards, 6 assists. He's still playing almost 36 minutes a game, JT.
He wants to play more.
Hold on. He's 38, turning, I think on New Year's Eve day, he's going to turn 39. So in less than 2 months, he turns 39. And listen, Steph having a great year, but listen, it's the lowest assist average in his career, the lowest rebounds for him per game since the 2016-17 season, and he's 35. That 3.5-year difference is huge. And LeBron is like, I can't tell if he's 35, 25, or 39. It is just really incredible. It is incredible.
Yeah, it's easy as LeBron. It's just simply because of their style of play. Like, LeBron is still playing bully ball at 40 years old on 36 minutes a night, doing the same stuff he did in year one. Like, that is insane. Like, the fact that he can still, at his age, he can still be this dominant playing that style of basketball. Like, that's unheard of. Like, it's way more impressive. Like, I love Steph Curry, all the things you said with a little bit of different stats, but at the end of the day, shooters always last longer in this league, and they can do it for much longer.
I was going to say, what's the last thing to go is the shot.
Exactly. And his shot ain't going nowhere. Like, no. Steph Curry could play until he's 50, being a Kyle Korver when he can't be Steph anymore with everything else, just with his shooting alone.
Hey, get in the corner and spot up.
Exactly. It's LeBron. He'll still average 25. All right, so let's go jackpot or fool's gold. Celtics as the best team in the NBA.
I hate saying this, but it's jackpot. I mean, bro, they're 5-1. They scored 155 points against the Pacers. They can play defense. Again, they retool their team, right? They retool that roster. They reshape it. They lose Brogdon. They bring in Porzingis or what? They lose Marcus Smart. They bring in, now Derek White steps up. I mean, listen, right now, I think they're the best team in the NBA. Always my concern is late in the playoffs, how well do Tatum and Brown gel and how well do both step up at the same time. But right now, they're the best team. And I think they will be consistently top 2, top 3, top 1 team throughout the regular season. So I'm in jackpot.
I agree, it's jackpot, but this is why they're the best team, is because all those things you mentioned that you still worry about, they wouldn't got guys that could fix that. They got Porzingis, a guy that can shoot, rebound, great rim protector, but guess what? He can also go shoot you threes in the corner, not clogging up the paint for guys like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to get to the rack. And then they replaced Marcus Smart with the souped up version of him in Holiday. So
Yeah.
and let's talk about this too, because last year we gave him a lot of criticism down the stretch. Masula, like we were like, hey, look, it was a situation we weren't expecting. He wasn't always ready for it, but hey, look, he'll be ready this year. He learned on the job on the fly last year, so I gotta imagine a year later he's more prepared and this team is better. Like I've got to put them as the best team in the NBA. And for what it's worth, they don't got us standing in their way to worry about. They don't got the Heat. So
not right now. Not right now.
They won't. And that's got to help them sleep better at night. Well, I'd rather worry about seeing the Knicks than seeing us.
But like, JT, injuries happen. Trades can be made by Pat Riley. So I wouldn't say that the Heat are, not going to be a factor for the Celtics. Let's relax there.
This next one's a shocker to me. Jackpot or fool's goals? Scotty Barnes.
What do you mean shocker? Like, listen, if you had this is the easy answer. It's jackpot. If you don't believe it's jackpot, you haven't been watching him or watching the NBA. The dude's averaging over 22 and a half a game, 10 rebounds, almost 6 assists. He's had double-digit scoring.
I feel like he's also getting blocks too. How many blocks is he averaging?
I don't know. He probably
he's averaging like 2 blocks a game.
That's a fantasy basketball stat.
That matters because that's defensive player of the year type of stuff.
Yeah. And we knew he could play defense, coming out of the draft from Florida State. That was one of his calling cards. So, listen, I mean, he's better than Siakam. I wish I would have taken Scotty Barnes in the draft instead of Siakam. I mean, he's right now the best player on Toronto. So, listen, if you haven't been watching him, you've got to watch him. But this answer is easy. It's jackpot.
Yeah, it's jackpot because, first of all, Van Vliet's not there. So, you knew at some point he was going to get more opportunities to – at least on offense. But I didn't count on, like you said, Siakam being this bad. So that's inflating Scotty Barnes' numbers even more. Like, Siakam is so bad that Dennis Schroeder is now the second best player on this team. I never thought I would say that. But yeah, Scotty Barnes is amazing. All the stats you just named, his blocks are through the roof. He's got like 2 blocks a game. Like, this dude is literally putting up Joel Embiid numbers, and he's like he's a 3. He's a small forward. Like, this is insane. Like, we liked Scotty Barnes when he first came into the league.
Yeah.
Struggled a little bit last year, but I never thought I would see this kind of jump from him. So it's absolutely jackpot. I think he's going to continue to do it. Jackpot or fool's gold. Luka Doncic as MVP.
Whew. Listen, it's jackpot. It's jackpot. I felt that this was eventually going to happen. And I mean, just listen to these stats right now. 31.6 points a game. 9.6 boards, 9 assists a game.
And that's like a little bit down by his standards.
I mean, that is crazy. I mean, that is crazy, but a lot of it's his efficiency. 13 of 25, 16 of 25, 11 for 22, 11 for 24. I mean, 9 of 17 last night at Orlando. He actually had a down day. 29 points, 3 boards, 6 assists, but he still shot 9 of 17. And that's the thing. We're not talking about a guy that is posting up in the paint, taking 3-foot bunny shots. You know what I mean? Like, this guy's out on the perimeter.
You firing shots at somebody?
No. Like, this guy is out on the perimeter, out in the fast break. Right now, I think he's the MVP. And unless Giannis can make a run,
or Jokic,
he'll win it over Jokic, just the way Embiid did last year. He'll win it over Jokic because Doncic has been steadily getting closer to that MVP title each year.
Yeah, it's crazy because I picked him last year to win this award. I'm like, yeah, I was a year too early, but yeah, this is jackpot, man. Like, and it's because it's the efficiency. Like, we know he can put up these triple doubles at will and do crazy stuff, but it's the efficiency because everyone's always like, he's a volume player, he has high turnovers. He doesn't. guys can't play around him, but like Kyrie's also having a good game too. Like I never thought I would see a scenario where Doncic is putting up MVP numbers, but like Kyrie Irving's getting 10 assists a game. Like that just shows you the type of player and the type of season that Luka's having is that he's dispelling those myths and rumors that guys can't be successful around him as a star. So I think that if that continues, that's what's really going to push him to all right. He's going to win the MVP, and I think that's why he's the MVP pick right now.